Alright, welcome back guys. Today is my third video in my little Silom Bang Rak series. Today we're on the lower end of the Silom road onto Charoen Krung and we're going to get a breakfast street food feast. First we're going to be grabbing a cafe boran from a little coffee truck right by the Shangri-La Hotel. Secondly, we're going to be going down and getting a Chinese noodle snack, which is quite rare, you don't see it everywhere. And finally, we're going to be finishing off with some back alley stewed pork leg. Let's go. All right guys, but before we start today's video, I just want to say a big special thank you to Kaz, Jack and Erin. Thank you so much for supporting the channel financially. There is absolutely no way I could do this without you guys. But to anyone that can't do that or doesn't want to give the money away, that's absolutely fine, but please continue to like and share the video so we can grow this channel. But Kaz, Jack and Erin, today's video is for you. All right guys, so this is our first stop. We're right at the back of the famous Shangri-La Hotel. And it's a really famous Thai coffee, Jae Yai and Cafe Boran Thai coffee stall. All right, so we've got absolute bundles to choose from. Yeah, look. Sterilised milk. This is going to take my Thai viewers back to your childhood, I'm sure. All right, orange black coffee, yeah? Right, I'm going to go straight Thai coffee, Thai tea in fact. What are you going for, Jay?
Go for the orange black coffee.
Orange black coffee?
Fashion.
Is it, yeah?
It's trending.
It's trending, yeah? So they do the traditional pool tea here, like you'd get down in like Jae Yai or obviously going into Malaysia. I think they actually call it Teaw Tarik in down south, yeah. เอาชาเย็นไทยนะ เอากาแฟส้มครับ Right, so get yourself down to Musna Coffee. Just a funky little truck. As I said, right behind Robinson's, you got you got the Bang Rak Night Bazaar and food court there where you can get probably the cheapest beer I've ever had in Bangkok. Head down there, which is where we're going in a minute, and you're back onto the main road at Charoen Krung. All right, so they've been open 14 years. One sip of this, it's easy to see why. What's that one like?
It's like coffee and orange.
Yeah.
It's good.
There's not too many people that do the pulled coffee and the pulled tea thing. It's good to see they've been open 14 years, as I said. Great little place to come and start your little breakfast journey in Bang Rak. Love that. So friendly, so friendly. This place, I didn't realise it was open for 14 years. It's been here since I got here 6.5 years ago, but I wasn't sure it was that old. And if you're doing something for 14 years in Bangkok, even all the way through, we are in quite a touristy area, but she's serving pure locals. These both were 60 baht together, so what you're looking at there, £1.50 or $1.80, so the value's there. And as I said, if you can keep your stall going in Bangkok for 14 years, especially going all through the pandemic when there was no tourists, that shows you know what you're doing. I just realised I haven't actually told you anything about the tea. It's bright orange because they put food colouring in them, which I found out yesterday could be derived from petroleum, I'm not entirely sure. But it tastes good. It's usually very sweet, but I told her not sweet, so it's not overly sweet. It's made with ayam black tea or Ceylon tea, depending on where you get it from. And the main flavours you're going to get are orange blossom and star anise. Alright, so next stop, we're right opposite Centre Point and Robinson's in Bang Rak, just off of the main road, Charoen Krung, on a little soi called Tanon, Chalon, Wiang. What do you have? What do you have? Jae Yai. All right, guys. So these are the Guay Teaw. So these are the ones we're interested in. So there's Sen Yai with กุ้งแห้ง so they're nice and salty, adds a little bit extra flavor. You can very good นะ
very good taste
อร่อยไหม
อร่อย
ที่สุดนะ
yeah
ครับ เจใหญ่
เจ๊ใหญ่
โอ้ชื่อเจใหญ่ this is the เจ้าของใช่ไหมเจ้าของสวัสดีครับร้านเปิดกี่ปีแล้วนะ
40 กว่าปี 40 กว่าปี
40 wow alright this is 40 years old I thought the old one was 14 that was good alright so yeah we're gonna get these ooh and these are little sort of like rice
ถุยกล้วยเจมถุยกล้วย
alright เอา
นี่ vegetarian
which one do you want mate
I'll have the one just pointing at.
alright เอา
number
เอาหนึ่งครับ
1มันมีหมูนะ
ใช่หนึ่งจานนะครับเอาเจหนึ่งจานนะครับ
จ้า
เอาเจหนึ่งเอาหมูหนึ่งครับ
เจ1หมู1นะ
โอเคไหมขอบคุณครับ
เจ1หมู1นี่เหรอ
So you can pick your noodles here, guys. Sorry, I'm a little bit rusty. I've been in Vietnam for a few days.
vegetarian
ครับ นี่เห็ด
อะไรมัสลูมมัสลูม
เห็ดนะครับ mushroom โอเคซิสเจนนายพูดภาษาอังกฤษเก่งมาก
นิดเดียวนิดเดียว
Alright, tofu, mushrooms. Then we've got stewed mushrooms.
มัสลูม very goodเอาป้อนเกิดใหม่
Alright, stewed pork. So mood tun. Mood tun. Sorry, no, I said vegetarian. This is my one. This isn't the vegetarian one.
ปูแดง
Kun chiang. Kun chiang, which is
เก่งมาก
นิดหน่อยนะ
เก่งอ่ะ
And a little bit of อันนี้ซีอิ๊วดำ ซีอิ๊วดำ some chopped up with some pak chi ใช่ไหม ต้นหอม
ขึ้นใช่
กุนช่ายนะChinese celery
กาลิก
กระเทียมเจียวครับ Very good นะ
เก่งมากคนไทยคนฝรั่ง
กะลิพูดภาษาไทยเจนายพูดภาษาอังกฤษโอเคโอเคไหมโอเคครับ Right, now this one's the vegetarian one.
เทมรินvegetarian
Vegetarian. So we've got these steamed like radish cakes. Oh, like a steamed rice noodle. I think they're radish though, she said. Any pakad, right? Radish. So this is huat chai po. So this is the same thing you'd have in pad thai. Huat chai po, say pad thai, right? Say pad thai, right? Okay, ครับ ใช่ครับ ใช่ไหมโอเคครับขอบคุณครับ This is proper. Okay, so this shop is called Jae Yai. Auntie Nai, she's been around for 40 years. CCB, just selling these noodles. So again, I thought the tea place was special because they've been here for 14 years. She's been doing it for 40. The next one we're going to, even longer. But I'll tell you about that afterwards. I'm going to sit down with Jake. He's going to explain the vegetarian one, I'm going to explain the meat one, but this looks unreal. Proper street food style, just tucked away on a corner in Bang Rak.
ขนมจีบ
ขนมจีบอะไรนะ
ข้าวหมู
โอ้โอเค เอาด้วยนะ
เอาด้วยนะอันนี้เผือกอะไรนะเผือก
เปลือก This is taro เปลือกอันนี้เต้าหู้
เต้าหู้
ทำเอง
ทำเอง
เหรอ
เก่ง
อ๋อครับโอเค
แฟมิลี่
ครับอ๋อพี่สาว
พี่สาว
น้องสาว
พี่สะพ้ายเขาเรียกอะไร
อ๋อสามสาวalright family sister อ๋อครับโอเคเอาทุกอย่างนะ ครับ
โอเค
พี่อุ่นได้ไหมครับอุ่นได้ไหมครับ An absolute feast there. Right, we're going to have to get out of here soon. I'm going to be full up and bankrupt if any more of this carries on. So we only came here for the Guay Teow Lord, and I didn't even want to eat 2 plates of that. We were just going to share the vegetarian one and the meat one. She's now ended up selling us. The sister-in-law's come along. She just brings stuff down from her house and sells it. So we've got kanon jib or shumai, pork dumplings topped with crispy garlic. We've also got hoi jaw phuak, if I'm saying that correctly. So tofu skin wrapped taro. Usually you find these with crab. This is a vegetarian one. And then we've got a steamed radish cake with mushrooms, peanuts, coriander, spring onions. And then we've got the same thing but like shredded up as well. So we've got a lot to get through, and we've still got our main stop next. You feeling like you can get through this, Jake?
I'm quite excited and hungry.
I reckon you can eat all this by yourself.
I'm not sure how much longer I can wait.
Let's take a look at yours. So you've got some radish cake things that they're calling noodles here, and then you've got sweet radish, dark soy sauce. I'm not sure about your one, to be honest. How is it?
It's good, yeah. The deep fried garlic's nice. Is it radish with something else?
What the?
This cake thing.
I don't know. Radish and flour, I think.
Good.
Radish and rice flour, I think, but I could be wrong. Could be anything. It could be tapioca starch. It could be any of those flours. All right, let's take a look at my one, which Jake is going to give me a hand with. All right, so we've got that stewed pork, that mutton, tofu, acting like a little sponge, gratiam jiao, the garlic kuntiang, which is the Chinese sausage, which I'm not really keen on. The same stewed mushrooms, tun, that we've got in these other things. The radish cake, some bean sprouts. Then we've got the dried shrimp stuffed noodles a la pad see ew radna.
How is it?
It's good, it's a bit sweet. All right, I'm gonna go in with some chili. So on the table, chili, as always, pounded chilies, pik nam som, pik bon, and sugar. Give that a mix up. It's kind of like deconstructed pad see ew, steamed. Right, I'm gonna get everything mixed up properly. Try and get a spoonful of everything. The stewed pork, on point. It's a little sweet, but it's quite refreshing. It tastes like a deconstructed pad see ew that's been steamed. So you've got these wide rice noodles. Again, I'll go back to the fact that they've got that little bit of dried shrimp going through them. Adding a nice sort of savoury note and a little bit more texture. The Chinese sausage, the kuntiang, is always a bit too sweet for me, but there's only a little bit on here so I can deal with it. I love the fact this tofu's kind of soaked up all the juices from the plate. It's quite light, it's quite fresh. It's got the same kind of flavours as a pad see ew, because you've got the dark soy sauce, the see ew dum. A little bit of garlic. You've got the flat rice in with, so it's reminiscent, and then you've got the crunchy, fresh bean sprouts, the Chinese celery. Obviously, you know I love the gratiam jiao, the crispy fried garlic going through there. Always a winner for me. The pork's perfect. It's just, as I said, it's quite unique. They don't sell this everywhere. You're only going to find this in like Chinese areas, like here, Yawarat, Talapu, where I live. There's a couple of these. It's just a great little place. As I've said, she's been open 40 years now. She's an absolute legend. She speaks a bit of English, better than my dodgy Thai, as you can probably tell. But this is the perfect little snack to start off your little breakfast tour of Bang Rak, because as I said, it's quite light. and you could easily fit in another dish, which is what we'd planned to do until her sister came and sold us 4 more dishes. Do you agree with my assessment of a deconstructed pad see ew?
It is, yeah. It's like they've forgotten to cook pad see ew.
Forgotten to cook pad see ew. Right, let's get some of this Chinese black vinegar, well, Thai Chinese black vinegar, on our shumai. Kanon jeeb. Kanon jeeb. Jeeb means dipping, so it's dipping. Kanon is snack, dipping snack. The dumplings, the kanon jeeb, incredible, massive hit of white pepper, really, really fatty, really, really well seasoned. You got topped off with the sharpness from that black vinegar. So you got salty, sour, fatty, peppery. We're cutting the fat with these little rocket chilies, these little Hikinu mouse chili droppings. All topped off with that crispy gratiam jiao, which you know for me makes any dish a winner. I wasn't expecting them to be that good. That could have just slipped into my top 5 kanon jeeb in Bangkok. Jae Yai, ครับ Jae Yai มีขนมจีบมีทุกวันไหมมีทุกวันนะ Yeah, they have them every day, so get yourselves down here because these are อร่อยที่สุด What do you reckon on them ones, mate?
Yeah, they're great. They taste like Niam fermented pork, like in the north.
Yeah, yeah.
With the chilies as well. It's spot on.
In dumpling form.
In dumpling form.
Right, next up we're going to try the fried taro. It's like a Thai potato rusty. Yeah, it's a bit like a hash brown, a proper one. Decent. I don't like sweet taro. I did that video where I accidentally asked for horse vagina, didn't I? Yeah, that was quite funny. Bye bye. Bye bye. เจอกันสัปดาห์หน้าครับ Alright, so we've got a little change of plan. We were going to go to Truc Sang, which is a famous old Khao Khao Moo shop down the same road we were just on. Because a few of you have told me to go there. It's called Truc Sung by Lord Sin Hospital, Long Payaban Lord Sin. But a few of you have told me about that. But then when I asked the ladies at the stall, I said, is it aroy mate? And she was like, yeah, it's good. You should go and take a look. And I'm like, really? I said, which one's better, that or Thewada? And both of them immediately said Thewada. So we're going to Thewada. It's right next to Jok Prin, which is the congee shop, the famous Jok shop in Bang Rak, which I know you've seen my video on. If you haven't seen it, you better go and watch it. You too, Jake, you better go and watch that as well.
Koto Cap.
But there's a little alleyway where Jok Prin used to be, leading up to the Prince's Theatre. And that's where you're going to find this amazing Khao Khao Moo. I know this one's good because I used to eat it. Oh, look at this, guys. This is what we're all about here. Okay, so they've got intestines. They've got some deep fried puffy tofu. That's going to be like a sponge. We're going to definitely get that. We've got that lovely, fatty, like almost pulled pork leg. Look at the colour of that stew, guys. And then we've also got the shank at the bottom, which is called Ani kagi. Kagi. Sorry, I forget sometimes when I haven't ordered for so long. Okay, เอาข้าวขาหมู1 จานนะครับ เอานังนิดหน่อยนะครับ เอาคากิด้วยนะครับ
เอาคากิเหรอ
คากิเอาครับ
พี่ใช่ไหม
ใช่ครับ
คากิเหรอ
คากิอ่ะ
คากิ
เอาครับ
ใครเอาไหมใคร
เอานี่ไข่มาต้ม
เอามี
นี่โอเคทรงฟันทรง
2 ฟอง
ป้องทรงป้องเอาเผา
เต้าหู้ด้วย
เผาด้วย เอาไส้ด้วย
เอารัดข้าว เอาเป็นกับข้าวเนาะแยกข้าว
แยกข้าวนะโอเคไหม
โอเค
ครับ See, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Look at these eggs, guys. That's why I come here. How come? มีคานาไหม
คันหน้า
คานาไม่มีเหรอ
มี
โอเคครับ
มีแต่ผักดอง
ผักดอง Yeah, they're gonna get marked down because they got no cana.
เช่นนำไปเจอเลย
ข้อข้อ
พออะไรคะ
เอาอีกน้ำนะ
เอา
ครับชอบมาก
โอเค
Look at this one, guys.
สวยมากเลย
สวยมาก Now, to be honest, this is why I've always picked this place over any other Khamoo shop because we've got the kaimatum, which are the runny sort of gummy eggs. I really hate those overcooked eggs. Look at the gumminess of this one, look. Right, and then I've gone, I don't think she understood because I'm not speaking correctly, but I wanted Khao Khao Moo and I wanted kagi. Kagi is the trotter, but we've ended up with just trotter. So I've got some trotter, I've got some intestine, some Teaw, some tofu. So if you don't want the intestine, mayao sai. And then we've also got some pak dong, which is pickled mustard greens. I'm going to go and get some of the leg as well because you didn't really understand me. And then we've also got that gravy. And we've got the rice separately. If you want the rice separately, say khao yak. Yak means to the side or split. Come on, come. Okay. I'll nip right. So he just said ao nang mai. So do you want some skin? And I do want to try it. I want a little bit. I don't want too much of it because I am going to turn into one big. Oh, okay, come. So watch yourself, you farang. Get some nam. Come on, come. Yeah, mate, that's the good stuff there. Look. That's that flakiness. Come on, come. Alright, and after my terrible ordering, we've now managed to get ourselves some Khamoo. So we've got that pork leg, the stewed pork leg. We've got a little bit of skin. Didn't want too much, but we've got a little bit. We've got that flaky, delicious meat. So let's get putting on our plates. This is looking decent.
With vinegar. Special with the vinegar.
Is it, yeah?
Oh yeah.
So this is just, you need this because you need this to cut the fat and the richness of the that fatty pork. Let's get more for me. Right, I'm gonna go over mine as well. We're just gonna share a plate because we don't really care too much for Corwin. Alright, I'm gonna try that puffed up tofu first. And as I keep telling people, if you don't like tofu, the way to get into it is actually to eat that puffed up stuff because it kind of acts like a sponge. So it soaks up all the juices, all the pork juices, all that soy sauce broth, and that's just soaked it all up along with that intestine. Now I'm not just eating intestines for the sake of eating them. Here they are cleaned well, soft and stewed to perfection. So they're literally melt in your mouth, right? Go straight through that. Sometimes they're a little bit tough, sometimes they taste of, sorry, what am I meant to say, Richard? They're a bit barnyard floor. But no, not in here. That's good. The sauce here, it's the 5 spicy broth, but it's not overly sweet. There's a bit of sweetness, but that's more coming from the cinnamon. That's why I think it's sweet. But it's not like that coat your mouth in rock sugar kind of sweetness. There's sweetness there, but it's also really, really heavy on the soy sauce at the same time. Usually there's 2 types. There's the sweeter one with the 5 spice, and then there's one like Khamoo Thewada or Khamoo Bangrak, which are more sort of like soy sauce driven. What do you like best?
The leg.
Yeah. What, just a flaky
got more to it, I think, like in substance.
Right, so the trotter is basically just gelatinous pork fat, right?
Just fat. Fat and knuckles.
It's a bit bony, it's a bit hard to eat. I wouldn't get it over the Khamoo, would you? I wouldn't get it over the legs.
No.
But, I mean, if you've never tried it and you just want to eat pure pork fat.
If you want a gnaw and a trotter,
Yeah,
this is the way to go.
This is the way to go. All right, the star of the show, believe it or not, for me, are actually these Khao, which are gummy eggs, which I know I'm not saying correctly because everyone keeps correcting me, but they're like, yeah, just cooked. Because usually, when Thai stew eggs, they stew them to death and then you get that black ring round them and they're all chalky, you know? Not for me, this is absolutely spot on. This could actually be, people ask me all the time where my favourite Khao Khao Moo is. This would definitely 100% be in my top 5. Rate it?
Yeah, it's good. I think the best one I've been to is on the next street. At the end. I've forgotten the name of it.
Charoen Krung.
Like
Yeah, Charoen Krung. That's a good one as well. For me, I prefer, we'll go back and try that one out again.
Yeah.
Yeah? Another video, guys. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that little breakfast tour of Bang Rak, Bangkok. This is the last daytime Silom vlog for a little while. I'm going to do a little nighttime one next week. But now we've done Upper Silom, Middle Silom, and the bottom of Silom. So you can check those videos out now. Thank you so much, Jake, for joining me today.
It's been a pleasure.
All right, go easy on Jake. This was his first video. Bit nervous?
A bit tired, actually.
Bit tired. No.
For me, this.
But as I said, Jake has actually got one of my favourite Thai food pages on Instagram, and he's soon to be launching his YouTube channel. So please get over to Bangkok Bellies, give them a follow. Their recommendations are amazing. I will leave their info in the description box below, along with all the map links, as always, to all of the stops from today's video. So please don't message me asking where these places are. Just go into the description box and there are maps and translations and prices for everything. All right, thank you very much, guys. I will see you in the next one.